Hey guys, how are you doing? Let me know if my mic is too loud or too soft. I always mess with my settings and I never know where I finish up with them. Just gonna give a few minutes for people to come in. We're gonna talk about this cool Spinal versus Jago match today. Thompxson versus bass. One of the better sets that's been posted to bass's YouTube recently. Thought it would be fun to talk about it. And of course, to set the mood, we have some Xenoblade Chronicles music right now, the nighttime theme from Colony 9. If you look outside and it's dark where you are, this probably feels pretty appropriate. You know, I wish Twitch would let you see how many viewers you have while the stream is paused, because I have the chat open right now, but not the stream, so I can keep my internet going okay. And it sucks that I won't be able to see how many viewers I have. It's kind of a bummer. You'll let me know when it hits 1,000. I appreciate that. If you could let me know when it hits 3, that also might be helpful. Just the 2 milestones is probably all I need. Also, I'm going to try and keep my eye on the chat a bit while I'm talking. I'm not really good at that. Last couple sets I analyzed, I didn't look at the chat very often, so I missed some important things. So I'm going to see what I can do there. Alright, I'm gonna start in like 1 or 2 minutes. Let's switch to Xenoblade music up. This is another classic from that game. Alright, I think it might be time to get started. Okay, I'm going to maximize this. Oops, that's not the maximize button. There it is. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this set because Base has been posting a lot of sets recently, which is awesome. I hope he continues to do that. I always sort of check them out when I'm, in bed or have a downtime in the middle of the evening, and I'm just looking to relax while I eat or something like that. His set YouTube is great for studying the game and sort of checking out what characters are finding with these different characters. A lot of the time, though, he ends up just sort of dunking his opponent real good. He's really open to taking all challengers, which is great. A lot of people trying to get better, sort of move up their skill into sort of this, up from intermediate into more advanced skill, and they have to fight the best to do that. So Base often just sort of beats them 10-0, 10-1, 10-2, that sort of thing. But this set is different, right? We have Base versus Thompxson. Thompxson is maybe the star of the tournament scene in 2016, I'd like to say. He won, what did he win this year? He won Combo Breaker, CEO, and SCR, and just barely didn't make top 8 at EVO. He basically has been one of the big people to beat this year in the Killer Instinct scene. I'd say the 4 big names this year are Thompxson, Nikki, Base, and probably Sleep, right? Sleep, the EVO champion this year. So yeah, we have a really strong player for Base to fight against, and Base himself, of course, exceptionally strong player. Good tournament showings for as long as I can remember since the start of Season 2. He's been a mainstay in top 8 and top 3 of every event he's entered. Got second at EVO this year, losing only to Sleep, and definitely he took a couple months away from the game there for a bit, just to sort of relax and recuperate his energy, because as you know, if you've ever tried playing fighting games consistently for the same character or the same game for 18 to 24 months straight, it sort of wears on you after a while. So definitely would always recommend checking out other games, taking a break, come back refreshed. And Base has sort of done that. He's now starting to make more YouTube content again with his own play rather than just recording other people playing, and it's really great to see him back, and I hope he's feeling more energized. So basically this could be the grand finals of any tournament, and which is kind of why I'm excited to show this, because you don't often see first to 10s between strong players like this too often. Often they will only play in grand final sets and maybe in casuals online, but they don't, like in if they meet up in ranked randomly or something like that, but they won't sort of sit down and really just go at each other in a long set like this. So what I want to think about in terms of, so we could just watch, right? We could just watch and sort of enjoy the match and just sort of watch these two really great players go at it, do all sorts of cool things. But if we as players want to get better, or if these two end up seeing this analysis and want to sort of think about how they can improve, it sort of pays to sort of think about like milestones for the match. So like, what are we expecting each player to do? They've played each other numerous times, so they know each other's style. This isn't like either player is going to come in and be surprised by anything. So what can we expect from these players, and how will we watch that adaptation? So for me, let's start with Thompxson, right? So Thompxson is, I think Thompxson is one of the stronger anti-air players with Jago. There's a couple Jagos out there who sort of preach the anti-air gospel, and you may know who those are. But I think Thompxson definitely has the complete package there. He's got great on the ground, he's got great tech, he's sort of the forefather of some of these fireball combos that you see, and he's adapted them now to Season 3 so that they're still very difficult to break and still do a ton of damage. But one thing Thompxson has really done, and I want us to watch, is his dash cancel pressure. So in Season 3, Jago got that buff where he can hold fireball and dash cancel. Sort of like a Street Fighter Cross Tekken thing. If you guys played that game, it's very similar to that. So Jago dashes in and is at a disadvantage most of the time, but because it's so fast, Jago's forward dash is actually very fast. I believe it's 18 frames, which is the fastest in the game. Tied for the fastest, if you don't count things like TJ's Instinct, that sort of thing. So he can sort of just do it and surprise you. And base will have to be really careful of this. And one pattern that I really see often from Thompxson is this. He does overhead from near max range overhead, dash cancels, then does low forward into laser sword, right? He's trying to do this quick overhead low mix up. He doesn't even care that the overhead hits or not. All he wants you to do is think about blocking high, because the overhead hits you and then you're like, oh my goodness, I have to block high. Then he dashes in and does low into a combo starter. So if I was base, I would be thinking about that, trying to analyze how often Thompxson does this, and then to counter that, you can try and mash jab or something after overhead dash cancel, which is hard because it's fast, right? If you get hit by the overhead, you probably are just panicking and not thinking too hard about what's coming after it. But if base can sort of suss this out, I would love to see him after overhead dash cancel is guess shadow counter, right? He's probably already going to be blocking low. And so what he actually wants to do there is, if he does a delayed shadow counter, he will shadow counter if he does overhead again, if he blocked the first overhead, and he will shadow counter the laser sword if he does low forward laser sword. So I'd love to see that counter from base if he can determine how often base or Thompxson likes to do the dash cancel stuff. On Thompson's side, watching what base is going to do on offense, well, base is known for putting people in the corner and then just destroying them, right? Spinal's corner pressure, even with weakened instinct in Season 3, I think is still very strong. Dash cancels, or run cancels rather, after skull use is really good. Base makes some of the best use out of that out of any Spinal player. He loves to take his turn back and sort of just force you to deal with this dash cancel, or this run cancel, sort of out of nowhere, right? So the real thing that Thompxson has to watch out for is finding out patterns after base does medium skull in the corner and he blocks it, because Thompxson will have to challenge with DP sometimes. He'll have to challenge with, watching out for throw baits, so maybe he'll have to backdash sometimes or jump if he wants to be really risky. This sort of corner pressure from base is really difficult to deal with. Base also likes to spend a lot of meter on shadow skull so that he prevents you from building more instinct. And while I think that's really important in some aspects of the match, like for example, if your opponent is about to build instinct near the end of round 1, and you really, really want to hold him to 1 instinct for the match, then I think it's super valuable to spend both meters on Shadow Skull and just sort of block him out from doing that. Because if you can keep your opponent to only getting 1 instinct instead of 2, I think you have a huge advantage in the match. However, in round 2, I actually think it's not nearly as valuable to block out your opponent's instinct, especially if you've planned it so that they don't have much instinct with about 60% of their life left. I actually think what you should do is just forget about Shadow Skull entirely, unless you're trying to use it to bait lockouts or something like that. But even then, I think the meter is better spent on Shadow Linkers and Shadow Ender, because as Spinal, your goal is achieved, right? You've blocked their instinct, now you have to kill them. And I think the meter is very valuable there. So I'd like to see base sort of mix up more between not using his meter only for Shadow Skull all the time, but rather some of the time, get the job done, and then transition the meter directly into damage. So let's see how base handles that. I know recently he's been using more of the shadow moves besides Shadow Skull, so that's cool. I want to see more of that from him. Base also loves to break shadows on 1-2-4 and 1-3-4. He likes to hit the 1 and then pause and make you think he's not going to do it, and then finish before the 5th hit, right? He wants to avoid that situation where there's this big guess on the 5th hit. So what he'll do is he'll surprise you by breaking on the 4th hit. And I want to see Thompxson, who actually uses counter breakers a bit more than many other of the top pros. I'd like to see him see if he can pick up on that and counter base on the 1st hit, or if he lets the 1st hit go, to not flinch and go ahead and counter on the 3rd or 4th hit. I want to see Thompxson try that. So those are the sort of things that I think about before I watch a set like this. I just enjoy sort of guessing, you know, like, oh, these are the characters who like to do this, these are their player tendencies. In a long set, let's see if my prediction comes true and to what extent the opponents can deal with that. Okay, so after that very, very long introduction where I talk about a whole lot of nothing, let's watch the first match. So this is a first to 10, and the nice thing about this is that it goes really quickly because they're in player match, so they don't have to pick characters every time. All right, here we go. And by the way, let me know if I am too quiet or too loud. If my internet's cutting in and out, hopefully it's okay. Oh, they don't even let the intros rock. Man, they're ready to go. Okay. It's a good start from Thompxson. Base lets the linkers rock. Alright. Some damage and some corner. This is overhead dash cancel. Here it is. Yes, and low laser sword. Yes, okay. So right away, he hit with 2 overheads. Base didn't believe him that he would go for a second overhead. So first of all, this overhead is fast, right? It's like 19 frames. It's super far range. Like, we're talking way downtown. I think Jago players, we underestimate just how good this overhead is. Like, it's super good, okay? Like, you can use it as a footsies tool. You can whiff punish with it from ranges that other buttons don't hit. It's really good. But Thompxson loves to do this overhead into low stuff. And even if you block the follow-ups, like, Thompxson look at Spinal's life right now, right? He's like already lost 60% of his first life bar. He barely got hit. He got hit by 1 combo and a couple overheads, and those overheads really added up. So base should be thinking right now, okay, Thompson's doing what he does, right? He does this overhead, low, dash cancel stuff. And if I'm base, I'm thinking, all right, I got to build meter for shadow counter next time. Respecting Thompson's wake up, I like it. 1, 2, 3. So not 1, 2, 4 or 1, 3, 4 from base, but he did break the first hit. So I want to see how consistently base continues to do that. But Thompson's okay with that. He got 10% there, forced break base to take a risk. He's going to keep going. Oh, V-trigger. I call this the Chun low strong V-trigger, right? This is from super downtown. You have to watch out for the slide from base. Base is the master at this. He knows when you're trying to walk back against overhead and against skulls. Because if he throws a high skull, you can walk out of range of it, right? And if he throws medium skull, you want distance, so he doesn't get to run up and do stuff. So base is just like, all right, my opponent loves walking back here. I have to do slide instinct cancel. And this is, base's success with this is super good. Heavy, yes, break. And now Jago has, does he have a bar? Yeah, he has 1. Oh no, he's shy a bar. So he can't shadow wind kick through these things. Base looking to catch the fake. And you can see the respect here, right? These guys. This guy, yeah, see? They did not want to deal with this. They're both, you know, feeling each other out in game 1. Base, if this was any other opponent, he would just stay in there and run over his opponent. You know, he has 2 meters to make stuff hurt. And Thompxson also, despite base not having a great reversal here, basically what he loves to do is get in there and mix you up. But both players are, let's watch that again. Sussing each other out close. They both sort of take a little poke and then jump away. They're just like, no, we're not at the point of the match yet where I have to start risking or, like, you know, getting opened up by my opponent. They both have about the same amount of life. They both don't want to lose the same life bar or lose the first life bar. And Jago is really close to instinct, so base knows that if he can stop Jago from getting this instinct on round 1, he's got a huge win. Nice DP. So he breaks, he chooses to break heavy, which I think Thompxson does heavy there every time. And why not, right? He still gets 16% damage because the damage gets applied before the breaker. So basically that combo hit base, and the breaker does nothing. All it does is give base a knockdown, which is not nothing, I should say, but it doesn't save him any damage. And now base gets 1 shot at this mix-up. What's he going to do? Let's predict. I think he's going to do stand strong, or sorry, roundhouse into skull, and then run in and throw. Well, you know, sometimes you get hit by wake up TP, and that's okay. So base gives up the first life bar. Nice patience. Base wins. And Thompxson does not challenge any of that combo. But one thing I really love about this is base knows, well, first of all, Thompxson has instinct, so applying the curse does no good. He doesn't steal a meter anymore, so all he does is prevent Thompxson from earning instinct, but that is obviously not applicable with full instinct. So base spends the bar on Shadow Linker, makes Thompxson deal with the mix-up, and then just ends the combo. After he let a bunch of heavy linkers rock too. So I love that use of meter from base. I hope he continues that sort of thing. Nice combo conversion. Heavy, broken, okay. So base isn't going to let him get away with everything. That stand fierce from Spinal takes up a ton of space. Really good button for him. Wow, nice confirm. And this is unbreakable. Fireball DP, yeah. Look at this. 45. So this is what they did, right? In Season 2, this used to be unbreakable, like straight up. You could just never put a breakpoint there and just cash out with Fireball, Shadow DP, because the way the breaker system worked differently in Season 2. In Season 3, they changed it so you have to put a breakpoint. If you're going to do a cash out ender, you have to put a breakpoint somewhere between your opener and your ender. So what Thompxson does here, and this is really smart, and I think almost virtually indefendable, is he does a heavy auto double and then instant cancels it immediately. So we'll back that up. So first of all, that's a hit confirm, which is really good. If you can hit confirm, this is a really late cancel window. So if you can hit confirm this without having to cancel into a negative special move, you can basically just Jago's footsies end up being so much stronger. So he hit confirms into win kick, does heavy auto double, and then instant cancels immediately. There you go. So his breakpoint has already passed, right? His one breakpoint was the heavy auto double, and he let it go. And base didn't even see it coming because you can't really. It's just more or less impossible without like some strict guess, which is also a terrible idea. So if oh man. He uses the instinct, Jago's improved frame advantage and instinct to break some combo rules there, which is always fun to do. Extends the combo maybe a bit too long because of the meter. He didn't have enough meter for Shadow Fireball, so he's trying to build the ender level, I think, to get some more meter. Also, Spinal's basically dead, so he's trying to just see what would happen, I think. And this is tough for base. Oh, base with the clutch teleport. And the reset. Oh no, base. Okay, he picked it back up. Gets broken on heavy linker. Okay, and this is also another really important thing that just happened. So first of all, let's talk about where the state of the match is right now. First of all, Jago has no instinct, and he has about 60% life left, which means he will not build another instinct meter. So base is basically done with Shadow Skull, I think, for the rest of the match. He doesn't need to worry about it. He doesn't need to apply it anymore. He should save his meter, and if Thompxson locks out, he kills him in one combo, because base Spinal's damage is really good. And this Shadow Fireball is a really important check in the neutral from Thompxson. So base has, or Spinal has Power Devour, right? So he has this move where he holds back Light Punch and he absorbs incoming special moves with his shield, and he builds skulls for doing this. But it leaves base in a lot of recovery, and because of the way Shadow Fireball works, you absorb all the hits, but it actually slows the game down as he's absorbing with like some massive weird hit stop thing. And Thompxson can go up and hit a normal on you before you can recover. So base must know this. I mean, I'm sure he does. He plays this match a lot, I'm sure. So he fakes the Power Devour and then puts it away before the Fireball can hit him, because if he gets hit, he's dead. Base will come in, or Thompxson will come in, hit a normal, and then hit Ultra on him. So that's a really awesome teleport from base. I love the idea. I love the reset. I don't like the combo drop, but that's okay. See, look, he fakes it and then puts it away, because he knows if he's going to get hit by that Shadow Fireball, he's lost the round, even if he absorbs it. But he's still on a tough spot. Wow, trip card. Or jump recovery. We won't call it trip card. Oh, the Rufus dive kick! That was so Rufus, right? If you're a Street Fighter 4 player, look at that. Look at that angle on this dive kick. He Rufused him real good. Oh yeah, I love it. Perfect. That's a Justin Wong dive kick. Base still has some work to do. But notice he put the instinct curse on him. I don't like it. See, like, why, right? You're costing yourself damage there. I mean, he doesn't want to give him a breakpoint, but I think you have to save the damage. If you're going to go for something, go for a Shadow Ender or something. This meter does this application of Shadow Skull does him no good. Like Jago should be in danger right now. We're really close. That was a really good tech. Oh man, I can't believe they didn't combo. Base couldn't confirm opener ultra. Wow. Let's watch that again. What happened here? Base panicked. He couldn't see it there. He couldn't see opener ultra in time. Base is actually really good at that. So I'm not going to harp on him for missing opener ultra. He's one of the best players at opener ultra, and I'm sure we will see it throughout the set. So he tried to squeeze in a linker just because of muscle memory or confirms. Thompxson guessed right on light. He definitely didn't see this coming. He was maybe even trying to tech a throw, as is very common in KI, is to break on lights when you're trying to tech. And then he does overhead dash cancel low. Oh man, sweep. He picked an unsafe button too.
I'm afraid your path ends here.
Really interesting end to that set. But what I'd love to see, I think Base, Thompxson stole it back. Base gave it away twice, unfortunately, right? He spent meter when he didn't have to on Shadow Skull. If he saves that for Shadow Ender, I think Thompxson dies in this round. And he then missed an opener confirm. But, two good players, and Thompxson was able to wrestle control back. Alright, next game. Thompxson up 1-0. Clutched it out. They're both swinging with heavy, right? They both have these amazing... Oh, that was a great jump. Heavy? No, that was only medium. So I'm actually really bad at that. I'm bad at telling the difference between heavy and medium laser sword linkers, or soul sword linkers. They're pretty much the same. I know you can do it, and I know people are much better at it than me, but I often think their mediums and heavies are different. So I'm just going to rewind. Yeah, I don't know. I think to me that looks like heavy. It's a great overhead. This is where Base shines, right? Yes, run cancel. That's so hard to stop. Nice. Take the initiative back as Base. It lets them jump out of the corner. Now Thompson's in there. Wow, great tech. Throw tech from Base. There's low, no cancel. This is really important. So Thompxson, being as smart as he is, knows that he can't always do overhead dash cancel low laser sword, because Base is going to pick up on that, shadow counter it, do something. So he's trying to fish for something here, and even if it doesn't work, right? Even though Base didn't take the bait and shadow counter something that didn't come, just the variation in play puts Base on the back foot, right? Base is thinking to himself, man, I've seen this before, but this is a different variation from what I've seen. And in his head, because you can't pause the YouTube and think about it, he has like, half of a second to realize what's going on. That this variation actually, I think, can mess up your opponent, even if it doesn't work. Oh yes, I should also say, this is played in set 3, or in patch 3.4. So this is before the recent Spinal buffs. So Spinal has increased meter gain on his blocked skulls, and he has a new shadow move where he can change 1 bar for 3 skulls. So those were the primary changes to Spinal in the recent patch. This set was played on the previous version, so we won't be talking about that. So another thing, when you play against Base, that was a great tech. Teleport, he gets out of here with teleport, right? Teleport into skull, okay. Or teleport into sword. So the important thing to talk about when you're playing against Base is exactly what does he link after Shadow Skull, right? So Base uses Shadow Skull a lot, and I'm not going to criticize his use of Shadow Skull in this instance, because if you see, Jago has almost full instinct, and it is really important for Base to try and run a train right now, kill the first life bar with the instinct curse on. If he can do that, this is like the best use of meter for Spinal for sure. So this is a very great use for Base. But because you can never do openers, or you can never do auto doubles or linkers after the shadow move, he has to manual. All right, and Base has several options here. The one I think he prefers the most is Crouch Fierce, because Crouch Fierce builds the skull, right? It's also a heavy, so you have to... It's breaking heavies as a guess is always a little... As a player, you're kind of like, you don't really want to do it, right? So I know Base loves Crouch Fierce, primarily just for the skull build, I think, is what he would like. And the damage, of course, more damage than the other buttons. But Spinal can also manual a special move here, right? He can manual laser sword, and that is a lot more difficult to tell the difference between light and medium when he's using the neutral version. Basically, you have to guess, of course. But as a player, you have to sort of, I think you have to, this is a place where you can wrestle control of the match away from base, if you can predict this particular transition from Shadow Skull back into the combo, because base, I think, prefers Crouch Fierce more often than other buttons. And the reason I mention it is because he does Crouch Fierce there. So he gets both curses on. And this is looking curtains for, even that break is not going to really matter. Oh, no anti-air. Wow, okay. A little bit of a scramble. And Base did the job. He got Thompson's first life bar down without instinct, which is all that matters. Wow, I can't believe he teched. Jago's light DP, a little strong, you know. It's quite strong. Has virtually no recovery. Really hard to whiff punish. So as a Jago player, you're okay doing something like that. Empty jump DP, because you're like, if he presses the button, I'm going to get him. If he doesn't press the button, the odds of him punishing me are quite slim, unless he's like just super on point. But alright, Base takes the round. Thompson's still without instinct. But now Base should not use Shadow Skull at all, because him opening the combo will give Thompson instinct, and he should basically be thinking, okay, my bar is for damage now, not for curses. Slide instinct cancel. Look at from how far away that is. How do you guard against this? You can't walk, right? It's so good. Base is in there, alright. It's a manual, medium, not broken. Yes! Convert. Yes, Base. Perfect. Look at that, 66. Thompson gets instinct, but this round must be like Base's, right? His use of meter is great there, and I'd love to see him do it more often. You could see Thompson trying to stop that, right? He was whiffing jabs. He's like, please don't teleport. He got hit. I had this exact situation before, right? Base would teleport out of the corner and cancel into heavy sword, and or into sword, and watch Thompson whiff jab. Don't. But it didn't matter. He still got hit, and then that was a throw tech, I'm sure. All right. This is super uphill. Oh, here comes the meter. Yeah, that's a punish. And that's great. Ultra, yes. Not opener Ultra, but I think Thompson didn't see it. He wasn't ready to even guess. How do you punish Skeleport anyway? You have to press a particular type of button, because I think if you do Skeleport into the right sword as a cancel, because you can spend a skull to cancel Skeleport, right? I think he can actually turn himself upper body invincible, so you have to press a certain type of button. If you press like a higher button, you'll just always get hit. I think throw works, but throw is a lot harder because it has really high whiff, right? So if he teleports in place, you just whiff a throw, and then he gets to do run fierce or run roundhouse into whatever. So you kind of want to like press a button that won't get you killed if you're wrong, and I think something like crouch jab is usually the best thing to do. So I rewound it because Base does the fireball absorb, and you can see what happens here. He gets all the skulls, but Thompson can just walk in and just hit him. And unfortunately, Thompson did not convert this to a combo. He decided to go for reset. Don't. And then tries to go for the dash reset there, the patented Thompson move. But I think he needed to try and force Base into a breakpoint to take that life bar. However, in the long term, probably not that valuable, or that important to analyze, because I think Base wins that round most of the time anyway. Alright, moving on. So that's 1-1. Base brought it back with some good decision making with his meter, some good positioning. Alright. Base just wants him to the corner, yeah. It teleports away, but teleports back. Nice break from Thompson there. There's a punish on the late DP. Alright, short combo. Nice jump. Heavy auto double not broken. And this is where Thompxson loses a life bar. Oh. He's still not out of it though. Base can just run in at any time, or do that. Now he spends, yes, that's a great use of meter for base. I think Thompxson was probably not thinking about guest breaking that juggle, because he's like, oh, I'm probably alright. There. He could have broken that, I think it was crouch strong, right? He could have tried to break something, but he probably thinks, oh, he's just going to like curse me for no damage, and whatever, but base spends the bar. Super important. Are there subtle differences between medium and heavy linker for every linker? Yes, there are. The differences in the subtleties are, obviously, you have to look at each linker to see what they are. Usually slight differences in speed, slight differences in sound effects, and slight differences in what the character shouts when they do the linker. So you can sort of often tell by the voice, by what they shout. But the voice is randomized between a couple different shouts for each linker, so it can be a little tricky. And you can also look at your own character's real animation, right? But that is also difficult, because depending on how you get hit, like if you're crouching versus standing, the real animations will be even, like they'll be different again. So I don't know. I think a lot of people just look at the pace. They will try to see like the combination of what the character shouts and the pace of the move is how you can usually tell. Wow, DP instant cancel. But Thompxson, I like the idea, except he has no health to regain here. So this is a super awesome win for base. Thompxson basically spends his only instinct, and he's not going to get anything off of it. Oh, we'll love the reset. And here, so base spends the meter again, right? He's basically hoping that Thompxson won't get another instinct, but I think he won't anyway, no matter what the curse does. So I'd love to see base not spend it there. Alright, so Thompxson did get a bit of use out of it. Wow. I love the guest shadow counter, because Thompxson isn't coming in to not press a button, right? I think the odds of Thompxson not pressing a button here, once he's put you in this block stun, I mean, he's pressing, he's doing overhead or he's doing something there. So I think the shadow counter is a great idea. So with that gain, that Thompxson gain, he might get another instinct here. It'll be close. But I think even as base, you can't put that in your head. You just have to think, okay, whatever. If he gets instinct with 3% of his health left, then he gets instinct. And I have basically a full bar life advantage, and I should be spending whatever meter I end up earning. He doesn't have meter right now, but when I earn more meter, it should go towards cash outs. And again, Thompxson looking for that teleport out of the corner. This has happened 3 times or 4 times in the first couple games. Shadow counter here, and something happens where base gets broken, but he puts himself in the corner, and then he teleports out. And even a player as good as Thompxson gets hit by this. It's such a strong way for base to escape, because if you block it, he still doesn't care. He's plus there, so you basically have to just try and interrupt him. But even if you interrupt him with just jab, base is happy to be out of the corner, because you won't convert the combo, or if you do, it's like 5%. So it's really tough, I think. Base is making great mileage out of this, forcing Thompxson to not even press his corner advantage. You see, he had the corner advantage and he backed away because he was so scared. Wow, good break. Alright, Thompson's in there. This is right where he needs to be. Plus, okay, he throws him out. I like it. But base will take it. No break attempt. Wow, 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 wow. Alright. Let's go back and think about this. This combo selection is really interesting. So he does early wall splat. So wall splat builds the KV by 50. So if you finish a combo under 50, you can press a normal, which is really important. So Thompxson presses a normal, then starts doing shadow moves. Base, instead of doing 1, 2, 4 or 1, 3, 4, does 1 and fakes it. And then Thompxson does another shadow move, and base does 1, but doesn't fake it, and gets dunked. Oh, I love it. Thompxson, you're best. And he built 1 around the world, so he is going to get instinct, I guess, this round. Wow, jump. Delayed. Oh, wow, the delay. Oh, reset didn't work. Base respecting the DP. There's slide, and I love the block. And now Thompson, I think, is going to have to guess Shadow Wind Kick. Okay, good patience. And I love the conversion from base. Does as much damage as he can. Immediately seeing the lockout. Doesn't even look at the health because he doesn't know if he can ultra yet or not. So he knows he has 3 seconds, right? So he just spends a shadow move. It's like, whatever. Here you go. Here's a bunch of damage. And an ultra. Yes. So Thompson really played about as well as he could given the way his instinct broke down that match, right? He managed to get one. Looks like he didn't end up using it, but he managed to get one, which is important. And he played really well to put an offensive sequence together, but base pulls it out.
Awesome victory.
What's it now, 2-1? Yeah. Wow, we've talked a lot about only 3 games so far. Alright, here we go. Opening Gambit is a throw. Base teleports out. Mid-screen, so Spinal's wake up, not the best, right? Teleport is invincible, but very high recovery. And in the corner, really super bad news. There are OSs that can blow it up, but base mid-screen was willing to take the risk. Forced Thompson's offense to be a little bit more linear, so that if he wants to stop it, he has to OS, which means blocking is stronger, right? So base just mixing it up a little bit, forcing Thompson to think about something. Because this is the most important part about fighting games, right? The more you can force your opponent to think about something, the worse they play. This is true everybody, even the greats. Your goal as a player should be how much can I force my opponent to think about multiple options, even if the options don't always work, because just the act of forcing them to think that way makes them play differently and often worse. Heavy linker broken. Base fishing. Wow, interrupts. Jump away? No, this time they don't jump away. Remember, this is a similar situation in round 1. The situation where they both kind of like traded small things, but they decide to start swinging now. They're like, alright, nice block. Base didn't overload his damage immediately, so he just did something into Skull. And the combo breaker counts as a hit, so the Skull goes away if it's broken. Base only ends up with 9% for the immediate breaker. So that's a little unfortunate for base. Could have front loaded with a heavy. Even just changing that medium into a heavy changes the damage by like 3 or 4%. And then obviously starting with a shadow move is like 10% more. Base valued the curse though. Overhead dash low, laser sword. There it is again. So there's that same variation. Base. So Thompson's done it, I think, three or 4 out of the 5 total times. I mean, it happens so quick. I'm not trying to say that base needs to play better, but if he's thinking about this in retrospective, I think he should think to himself, okay, if I see overhead dash cancel, I should just try to shadow counter. Even if I get hit by the overhead, because low forward into whatever is often shadow counterable, no matter what comes before it. Nice backdash. Here, yes, so base knows, as usual, this is where the Shadow Skulls really play into it. This is where they do their most work at the end of round 1, in the last 50% of round 1. So base knows he must stop Jago from getting an instinct before the end of round 1. So this is worth both his meters, absolutely. And let's see if the corner positioning here can help here. Waits for the DP, doesn't come. But base is still in there. Wow, that was super meaty. Nice interrupt. Yes, throw back into the corner. Okay, I think he's got it. I love the patience, but I also love the shadow counter there from Thompson. I don't think this is a bad idea. Very common there for base to do overhead or low strong into run. And I think Thompson doing shadow counter there as a guess is great. Base just with the patience. Alright. Base chooses to spend another skull. Another shadow, I mean. Alright, but he did the job he needed to do. He prevented the instant build around 1. Alright. Overhead. Ah, that's a bummer. So, this breaker, I want to talk about this because people... So, what I think is actually happening there is base mistimes the breaker before the counter breaker comes. I've actually seen some cases where I actually think the act of counter breaking causes a timing lockout where timing lockouts are otherwise not possible. And I don't want you to hold me to that because I can't prove it right now, but I think there might be some weird behavior there. Most of the time, like in 99% of cases, the reason that type of interaction occurs with lockout then immediate counter breaker is because the person counter breaking wasn't early enough. But I think in this particular case it happened in such weird position and I'm not too sure about it. Slide instant cancel is great. Base really represents overhead a lot there, and it makes a lot of sense why Thompxson stand blocks, because overhead comes like after you block skull. Overhead is very frequent from base there, so slide instant cancel is such a great way to blow that up. And now again, base should not be spending. I hope he doesn't spend any more meter on shadow skull. Well, that might have been a little different because it was trying to interrupt startup, but he spent a second meter there. So I'm okay with the first one because he's trying to stop offense. But the second one, I'm not so sure, right? I think that's way better spent for shadow cash out or a shadow linker there. He's going to put some curses on. Yeah, hard to stop, and Thompson's in trouble here. Good DP though, I love the challenge, but it might be a little too late for Thompxson in this round. LCD is chirping me or chirping somebody, or IG for saying working as intended. Like I say, I don't want you guys to use that that shadow or that lockout counter breaker thing as proof. Like it's a hunch I have, and I've seen it happen a lot, and I don't have the data to prove it for sure. So for all I know, base might have just mistimed that counter breaker. Even if it is an actual bug in some weird some weird like just frame timing, I don't think it actually impacts the game that much. But yeah, I don't have proof of it, so please don't use it as like Infil changed his mind on how counter breakers work. I would love to actually dig into it a bit more and try and science it up a bit, but right now I can't because I don't have the latest version of KI. You can thank Windows 10 anniversary update for that. Wow, nice jump by Thompxson. Wow, he tried to... You can see what Thompson's idea was there, right? He was looking for a reset, but his resets often is overhead. So he's thinking, okay, I got to represent reset low at some point. I think it might have been just he dropped the combo and it was a bit of scramble, but I think that Thompxson, the reset into low is important for him to get base thinking about something else. Unfortunately, he didn't get to cash out the combo, and now base has a lot of screen to retreat here. Teleport or jump, yeah, either one. And now base has him on the back foot. And base takes another one. Alright, skip ahead a little bit here to game 4. Or game 5 rather. Base up 3-1. Overhead again. So hard to stop. And these charged fireballs are so good. Base snuck in a power devour there to steal a skull back, but he can charge those fireballs, throw them at any time in the charge. They go like super fast across the screen or very slowly across the screen. And Thompxson or Jago recovers relatively quickly, so jumping over it is not an option. It's just the mid control against characters who don't have shadow to win kick or to, projectile invincible their way through it. I think it really increases Jago's strength in the neutral, and he builds so much meter if you block. So you can't just sit there and be like, well, I'll just block it out, because Jago is like just building meter that he'll use to kill you later. Yes, I love the challenge. Oh, opener render. That was a mistake. Just an input mistake, I think. Light, 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 light. Oh man, there was a bit of scramble. I think base was trying to break mediums, as a guess. This will happen, right? So for people who don't play KI a lot, the overlapping inputs between light, medium, and heavy breakers, they overlap with throw, shadow counter, and instinct activation, right? I actually think that's kind of cool. I don't think it's a bad thing about the game, because it means that you can have weird interactions like this. Like Thompxson is really happy about this interaction. He baits the medium breaker attempt and gets base to waste a bar, and he gets a reset out of it. So it promotes like good combo breaking, and you can sort of bait breakers in cool ways. Like if you think you're going to light breaker, I'll just neutral jump, and now you've teched a throw, and now I get to hit you with a jump attack. So I love that sort of like dynamic play in this game. It's scrambly sometimes, but you have to accept that, because the way it increases the pace of play and the mind games and the interesting things that happen on the screen is well worth the extra little bit of scramble that happens sometimes. So base guesses medium breaker, gets dunked by the shadow counter, and now Thompxson has full corner control, and this is where Spinal really struggles. Yeah, that's a button you can't mess with. He has to block it anyway, and yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? So I think even with instinct activation, base is just kind of hosed here. This button is so meaty, so plus, and Spinal has no reversal here. He just has to block, and then Thompson's going to chip him out. DP, fireball, even if he blocked. All right. Really strong play really awesome corner control from Thompxson. Taking advantage of his opponent's weakness. And now he has to back up. I love the evasion there. Doesn't even block it. Doesn't even give base the chance to do frame advantage traps. Heavy, not broken. Base guess breaks the linker after the heavy auto level. Yeah, here it comes. He has to. Yeah, this is gonna get hit. So base gets hit intentionally. This is smart by base. He gets hit intentionally by the last hit of the shadow fireball, so he will get launched, and then the combo won't be grounded on him. So that's really cool. I think it actually surprised Thompxson, because he tried to do a grounded combo. Yeah, I mean, he'll take the damage. I mean, he's happy with that. Like, he gets hit by 9% and whatever, now he has corner position, so it's fine for Thompxson. But smart from base to make that less worse than it could have been. But now he's cornered, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's over. Thompxson with like I don't know if it's a perfect, but man, is it close. Maybe he blocked something. Really dominant round.
Supreme victory.
But yeah, I mean, this will happen, right? You play good players, they dunk you sometimes. Even if you're an amazing player yourself, like base is. Thompxson, I'm sure, can think about rounds where he guessed wrong on everything and you just lose. I mean, that's fighting games for you. Base isn't going to let it get to him. If you do let it get to you, then that's sort of where you need to practice mental fortitude. But these two players won't let it get to them. But if you're thinking to yourself, man, I just got perfected by this guy. I know I'm better than that. It shouldn't happen to me. Well, it's because you are better than that, and it won't happen to you very often. And because of the way variance works, sometimes you just run bad in a round, and you should just not let it bother you. Low checks from Thompxson. Nice jump. I love the neutral jump. He has nothing. Base has no reason to neutral jump here ever, except exactly this. He must predict wind kick. Like, even he's out of range of forward roundhouse. And base is just like, no, you're going to wind kick. Of course you are. So I'm just going to jump. That's so good. It's like the if you're a Street Fighter player and you try and bait like Fei Long Rekka or a Balrog turn or tap or rush punch. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to stand at this range where your only option is wind kick, and then I'm going to neutral jump you. And Thompxson probably thinks to himself, man, why would you do that? Why you got to do me like that? Guess is wrong on the linker, but base was committed to the ender. Yes, I love it. Okay. Now base sets up this nonsense. Jago has no meter for shadow counter. He has to fight his way out legit. Take a risk with DP. No? Wow, walk. What a bold play by Thompxson. So I don't care about your frame advantage. I'm just going to walk up and try and throw you, but it doesn't work out. The combo breaker still doesn't help him get out of the corner. Yeah, space is back in. Fighting back with fireballs. The base is patient. Wow. Empty jump DP from Thompxson again. He is just... He picks heavy this time too, not the safer light. He really expected that to work. And but take a look at this punishment, right? Not a grounded combo. He lost 11%, and now he has instinct. The reason I'm talking about this is because when you try to analyze risk-reward of these moves, I don't want you to think like, man, Thompxson. I mean, you're not going to call Thompxson a scrub, right? He's the best. But if you're playing online against somebody who's like decently good but not the world's greatest, and he does something like this, you're like, what a scrub, right? Empty jump DP, what a loser. But what you actually have to think is that most of the time players will not maximize their punishes, and so that as a player defending against a player like this, you have to think the only way I can make this a bad idea is if I maximize my punish. And if I don't maximize my punish, that is my fault, right? So Thompxson is happy with that risk. He would have taken he would have clipped base for counter hit fierce DP, which is like freaking 18%, right? So that's like reward in itself. But the mental damage it does to base when it works, and the mental damage it does to base even when it doesn't work, is really high, right? So base is thinking to himself, man, Thompxson is going to empty jump DP me on my YouTube channel, on my set. I'm winning 3-2, and he's going to do this to me? What a crazy person, right? And Thompxson is like, whatever, you're going to hit me for 11%. The risk is totally worth it. I'm going to make you think differently the rest of the set, right? So this sort of mental tug-of-war that you have to force your opponent to engage in, if you choose to just not engage in it because you're scared of the risk, then you are like giving up a ton of what makes fighting games tick. You are just playing robotically, and like you're not engaging in a mental state, in a mental warfare, right? That's what fighting games are. They're mental warfare. Right, Thompxson builds a lot of this meter back. He's happy just to throw these fireballs. He wants to just build meter. He doesn't care if they're blocked really. Wow, nice. Manual, the laser sword, tries to do delayed auto double to beta break. Base waits it out. Oh no, this is it. Spend shot, yes. Perfect. And he doesn't even have to spend damage ender, so he gets to put 2 curses on Jago. Wow, okay. Yeah. Wow, base. So aware of where his skulls are, right? Throws them, still absorbs and throws another one. That's so fun. Teleport into the corner. This is so... How do you defend against this, right? What makes you think he'll ever teleport into the corner to open you up? Because if you block, he's like done. Or you interrupt him with a jab, he's like done. But base takes the risk, and Thompxson wasn't ready. See, again, I'm not sure. This is one aspect of base's play like I've been talking about for the rest of the video, but I'm not sure. I think this is just a lot of still muscle memory from Season 2, where he has full instinct in the juggle, so okay, I'm going to do Shadow Skull. Of course I am, because drain instinct, and now I'm good. The Shadow Skull here probably increases his damage by like 3%, maybe not even that much. It doesn't get him any extra Oki. Like he falls to the ground and he's there. So the meter is just so much better spent as like a bait or like a cash out, I think. When it doesn't affect the instinct of the opponent, I think you should just not use Shadow Skull almost ever. Except maybe when you're trying to get free manuals, but even then, I don't know. Especially not in juggle situations like this. But I think this is just sort of like muscle memory for base, right? But I do think it's one area where base could probably improve a bit. Man, he tried Ultra there. I'm pretty sure that's the input for Ultra for base. Man, maybe he was in danger, so weird. Maybe he wasn't trying Ultra there. I'm not sure. But doesn't matter. Opens Thompxson up 4-2 for base. A nice healthy lead to start the set. Nice. I love the quick absorb. Okay. Okay. Now I really want to talk about this risk reward thing, okay? These are two of the best players in the world at this game. They've been playing KI for 3 years, and they've played tens of thousands of matches, right? Thompxson has a reputation for being a bit more willing to counter break, which I think is great. I think that's actually one of the reasons why Thompson's such a good player. But even knowing that he likes to prefer counter breaks more than others, Base is unable to punish this counter breaker with anything except throw. Okay, so let's think about the risk reward of this. Thompxson gambled. How much damage does he take for this throw? 8% maybe. I mean, we could look it up. It's between 8 and 9%. He gambled 8% for Base to do 50% to Base. So how often does that have to work for Thompson's gamble to be correct, right? If you run the math, it's like 1 in 6, 1 in 7. How often is Base going to break Base's or Thompson's heavy auto double there? I think more than 1 in 6, and I think by a lot. So I think the risk is super good. He barely got punished. He took 8% and has to deal with a bit of Oki, but whatever. This is mid-screen Oki and Thompson's good, so it shouldn't be a problem. So people are like, man, I can't counter break because they're not gonna fall for it, or some weird interaction is gonna happen where they tried to break but it was too early or too late, and blah blah blah. And then they just throw you. They throw you and they do no damage to you. Or if they do hit you, it's like with low short into something, and it's like 6% before you get a chance to break. It's like, it's whatever. You get so much damage from these counter breakers, and they are so hard to like accurately punish in the middle of a fast-paced KI match, that they have to be represented, because they put your opponent back on edge. The reward is so high, and the punishment is often just not very good. So does he get it? Yeah, he gets out for free. It's whatever. Doesn't even take follow-up Oki. So Thompxson took a free shot at Base's entire life bar, basically, or like 60% of his life bar. And as a fighting game player, that's so strong. Like if you get free or quote-unquote nearly free shots, you have to mix it into your play. And even when it doesn't work, you shouldn't be thinking to myself, man, this stupid mechanic doesn't work. It's like, no, the risk is worth it. Don't worry about it. Mediums go. Okay, heavy linker broken. Thompxson takes control back with charge fireball. Mediums again. Mediums again. Thompxson lets it all rock, and then he guesses on the linker. Thompxson or Base applies the curse he needs. All right. Oh wow. And the unnecessary reset. But Base gets all these skulls back. Thompxson still has the instinct curse on him, and he didn't get instinct in round 1, so Base is super happy with that round. Wow, empty jump DP again from Thompxson. He's the best. And this time it did work. And he did pick the light version. I think that was light version. Nice reset in the throw. Oki. No. What's it called? Jago gets such good Oki off forward throw, or back throw, if you do the delayed jump setup, especially on a character like Spinal who has no defense. I'm surprised to see Thompxson not go for it there. I think it's a missed opportunity. Guesses on the linker is wrong on heavy, and Base unloads the meter. Yes. Look at the damage. 59. Thompson's going to get some of it back here, but man, with the instinct already earned, no reason to ever spend meteor on Shadow Skull. And he gets the full cash out. Oh, he goes for health this time. Probably smart, I think. Throw. Base backdashes, but yeah. Oh man, a missed opportunity there from Thompxson. Could have got all the instinct back, but that was an input mistake. He was trying to do fireball ender and got DP ender because he had to walk forward. Man, that's a bummer. I know that feeling, right? That happens in every fighting game, right? This differentiation between walk forward fireball and walk forward DP. Sucks to see it cost Thompxson a big chunk of life there. Mix up after wall spot is neutral jump, and Base falls for it again. No overhead. Medium again, overhead Thompxson. Oh my goodness, Base with the backdash. He was so scared. He's like, what is my only option to get out of throw and overhead? I know, backdash. I gotta do backdash. Alright. And Base is like fighting right now. No instinct. Can absorb. Alright. Wow, the teleport again. Wow, weird sound glitch, eh? Where's the hits? Base with the great use of meter takes around. That was a cool sound glitch though. You could hear like the swing of the sword. Listen to this. That's cool. I like that. But great optimization of his meter and lockout timer for base here. He knows he can do heavy, and he lets the 2 hits extend outside of the lockout window, which is not enough to break. It's like perfectly calculated. That's really strong from base. And he steals that round from Thompxson. Thompxson had a great corner sequence. He took like 80% of base's life away with repeated resets. And somehow base escaped with a panic backdash. And it was good. He was able to convert. And that's such a great confidence builder for base. He knows that, man, I'm never out of it. Even if I don't have a ton of instinct and a ton of stuff, it's like, if I knock you down or I can put you in some reset vortex, I can take rounds. I don't have to worry. It doesn't matter how good my opponent is. Wow, run under from base. I like it. There's that sound glitch again. Weird. I don't know. Maybe it's in the replay. No, this isn't a replay though. This is stolen from base's stream. Weird. Nice DP from Thompxson. Fellow Jago players will be happy. That was from downtown too. I wonder if base didn't press a button if he would have got hit. Maybe not. Lands on the fireball. Tries to delay it to catch base on a frame trap. Low. Man, he tried empty jump low. Base throw him. So that's the bane of empty jump low, right? As a fighting game player, you're like, man, I'm gonna empty jump low this guy. It's gonna be so great, and then you just get frickin' thrown, and you're just like, oh my goodness, my life is the worst. But base knows that he can do OS throw there, right? If you have, so this is a pro tip from people who are new to fighting games. If your opponent jumps at you and you aren't ready to anti-air, you can do block and then throw with a certain timing so that your throw will get swallowed up in the block stun if he does a jumping attack, or will throw if they empty jump, right? And that's what base did there. He did that timing where it's pretty much safe to check that throw or to attempt to throw, because if he did a jump attack, it wouldn't have come out at all. And again, base loads both meters on Thompxson here because, he tried to extend it a bit far. But he's okay with that because he has a chance to stop Thompxson from earning instinct this round. Well, not anymore. He has to land the next hit, but he doesn't have meter. Oh, he does get the meter. Oh, Thompxson managed to build instinct in time. But he's just gonna kill him straight up? Yeah, he is. Alright. So Thompxson has full shadow meter, so base doesn't really need to curse him there. But at the same time, skulls are a lot more easier to come by than shadow meter, so it's fine to spend a couple extra skulls just to curse people in case they waste a meter on shadow instinct or shadow wind kick or something like that. Then they've lost a meter and they still have the curse on them, so it's fine. And Thompxson dumps all his meter, but he had full health. He didn't need to do this. He was trying to do as much unbreakable damage, I suppose, as possible, but I think it's a loss of meter here. Wow, that was a good block. And a really smart counter from base, right? He knows Thompson's going to come in here and try and hit him while he's absorbing, so he teleports. But somehow Thompxson sees that and is just ready to block. I mean, he's been getting hit by a lot of cross-up stuff. It's fast, but Thompson's also good, so I think, sometimes online is a bit of a problem. You okay, well, offline I wouldn't have gotten hit by that or whatever. But he does manage to block it this time. And again, Thompxson is totally happy to waste his last bit of instinct, forcing base to block that double fireball, because he builds so much meter. In fact, when I play or when I watch other people play Jago, I think his primary goal should be to get you to block fireballs. Because, you're going to get hit by some of them because of overhead low stuff, but you're actually just as happy as your opponent blocking them as you are getting hit. Especially when Thompxson has basically full life here. He's like, okay, fine, if you're going to block, just give me my meter. Watch the meter build on Jago here. Boom, boom, look at that. He built from half a bar to a full bar just by wasting the last bit of his instinct on that fireball, and it's super good. So, and unfortunately, there's not much of a counter for it. You can't shadow counter the fireballs reliably, and you just have to accept. I mean, it's going to be negative on block, which is okay, but I mean, Thompxson is super happy to build the meter back there. How much did I miss of the analysis? I am 17 minutes in of the 44-minute video, so I don't know, about halfway through, give or take a little bit. You can always check the video out on, I'll upload it to YouTube later, and also it'll be on my Twitch archive, so feel free to watch from the beginning at any time. I like to ramble a lot, so I can't promise that everything I say is useful, but I hope that just talking about fighting games is fun, right? Everybody loves talking about fighting games. If you play fighting games, you love talking about it. So that's what I do. And hopefully, if some of the stuff I say is correct, that'll be even better, right? Wow, another great jump from base. He loves this. He loves this jump bait. It's really strong. He tried to throw reset there. Thompxson had already locked out, but he tried to throw him in hit stun. It was kind of a weird scramble. Alright, Thompson's going to take the corner back. Overhead. I don't know. I don't know if I really like base dumping both meters there. One was probably enough to stop the meter build. 1, 2, 4. There's the base I love, right? He loves to do 1, 2, and then wait and do 4, or 1, wait, and then do 3, 4. So I think actually counter breaking base on 1 is like his weak point. If he's going to break a shadow, he will almost never do 3, 4, 5, I find. It's like maybe 1 in 10. So if you're looking to counter break base, I would try 1. And I think Thompxson was maybe looking to get some information there, so he was okay with the break. But if he did counter break him there, I think Thompxson wins the round. And maybe the risk with how much Thompson's life he had left was worth it. But I mean, these are analysis that you give after a match, where it's in the middle of a match. It's a lot harder. I also wanted to say, since Thompxson is in here, hi, how are you doing, by the way? And base will maybe check this out later. I think it's important to say, I don't know if I said it at the beginning of this one or not, but my analysis is not meant to be taken as these guys are scrubs, or they should play better because they're bad, or because I'm better than them, or so-and-so is better than them. What I love to do is talk about the match, so that I hope that we can all learn from the match, and that these two players can maybe explore aspects of their play they didn't really think about in depth very much before. But in no way am I saying this is 100% the best way to play, and if you don't follow my advice, they're bad. These guys are both amazing players, and much better than me, and they're pillars of our competitive community. So I just want you to take just to frame my advice as not to be this, like, you know, this sort of tone. I want it to be, let's discuss the match sort of objectively and talk about fighting games, because that's the fun part. So yeah, if you guys are watching this later and I happen to analyze one of your sets or something like that, don't think my advice is to be play this way or else you're bad, right? Let's just talk about fighting games. Shadow wind kick on a guess, instant cancel. And now base is in big trouble. Well, he was until he did teleport sword. So Jago gets extra frame advantage on instinct, right? So this is like, coupled with Spinal's weak wake up, this is like super tough times, right? He has to block the stupid stand medium kick button, which is like plus 100,000, and Spinal has no way out, backdash is stubby. So this is like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? It's counter hit, but he does find a teleport, which I like. 6-2 base. Base is like putting the screws to Thompxson right now. Alright, skipping ahead. Here we go. Game, what is this, 9? Based on a 3-game win streak. Alright, a bit slower of a start. Thompson's probably thinking to himself, alright, I gotta change it up. I gotta slow down the pace a bit. Guesses on medium linker, I like it. Empty jump low. Did base throw there? Yeah, I think he tried to throw. He got hit in the startup of something, and it might have been throw. I think that was base trying to do the OS tech, but Thompson was out of range. Alright. Base guesses on the manual is wrong. Or was it the linker? He guesses late in the combo, so that means that Thompson can't really hurt him that much, but he does take a beefy level 2 here, and corner position. So it's definitely not like, you know, all gravy for him. Heavy, no. Wow, what a safe jump. Base didn't even believe this was a safe jump. He didn't even block high. He's like, no way. And then donked right on the dome. Slide. No instant cancel even necessary there. It's just so good. Yes, okay. I love it. It didn't work, but it doesn't mean I don't love it. This is exactly where base breaks every time, and I think Thompson knows it. So it's a perfect, and he does it early, which is great, which means it's going to work. Base is not going to sneak in the one and then get some weird scramble. It's exactly what he needed to do. And base's punish is jab into thing. So he takes, I mean, he's going to get some instinct here. So most of the time you won't always have instinct to convert, but base basically, his punish is going to be about 10%, right? On average, I would think, if you count breakers and resets and stuff. So basically, he gambled the life bar for 10 to 12%. And considering base's patterns, I love the gamble. See, 8%. Thompson got away with a throw that was supposed to be a light break attempt, but that's okay. And now he's in the corner, and now throw, yes, done. And Spinal loses his instinct. This might be the turnaround that Thompson needs. So he crossed himself up into the corner again, right? So this was a big thing in like Street Fighter 4 days. So Street Fighter 4 was pretty much the first game where you could cross someone up by doing a jump attack when they were in the corner. It was very uncommon in other older games for jumping attacks to cross up in the corner, and in KI they don't, or very rarely do. I don't know of any examples that do. Maybe there are some stray ones, but if you're a Street Fighter 4 player, you always had to resist the temptation, unless you had set play, because if you had set play, then you can do whatever you want. But you always had to resist the temptation to do cross-up stuff in the corner, because if your opponent blocks it, you're just like, well, shoot, I just gave up my entire reason for existing, right? So Thompson tries that here. Base runs out of the corner, and I guess looking at it now again, I think Thompson was probably surprised that Base had run. He was probably just trying to apply pressure. But Base ran out of the corner, and now Thompson's in there. There's the manual. So we were talking earlier about how does Base manual after Shadow Skull, and I say he likes to prefer Crouch Fierce a lot because of the skull build and the damage. Here he does, I think this is medium laser sword. I can't tell the difference between the neutral versions. Yeah, it might have been. And then there he does Fierce. So he's constantly forcing you to never guess one strength after that. And I think Thompson just doesn't even bother. He's just like, well, whatever. I'll try and break your linker or something, but I'm not even going to gamble on that manual. There's heavy linker break reaction. Okay, Thompson got the curse off of him, so he's going to get instinct on round 1, which is really important. Oh my goodness, there's a confirm. Heavy, yeah. Okay, 22% for 1 bar, despite all those break chances, is great. Like, great damage. Yes, if he locks out, he loses the round, so it's fine. And I love the confirm, is what I wanted to say. This confirm, Thompson's great at it. It's actually, there's the cancel window on overhead, like I said before, is really late. So the confirm is actually not that tough if you play other fighting games, where you have to confirm like 1 button. If you play like Third Strike and you've had to do low short super, this is like actually not nearly that hard. But because KI is so fast, and because these scramble situations come up all the time, I think reacting in KI is much harder than other games, despite the frame data being roughly the same. Basically what I'm trying to say is, I think that's a great confirm. He reacts to heavy linker and breaks it, but Thompson using that confirm is going to win this game, I'm pretty sure. Right. Oh, he tried empty jump low again and got thrown. There's the OS timing. And it's not even like you have to do that on purpose. Right? It's just, if you play fighting games for a while and you sort of want to prevent empty jump low, empty jump throw mix-ups, that's just the timing you tech. And if you hold back before it, you also do the option select, so it's great. Wow. Thompxson got dunked by empty jump throw like 3 times in that sequence. Alright. But he has instinct, so basically his life bar is a little longer than it looks even. And it's got 1.5 meters, and Spinal is about to die, so I think Thompson's in good shape here. Base has to play really well to take this back. Well, there's a start. Manual, okay. Setup, no. Tries to bait DP. There it is. Wow, end of the corner. Is this it? Base, or Thompxson pops instinct out of panic. He wants the screen freeze. He wants to see what's happening. Low short. All that life, all that damage. And half of his bar back just for blocking the follow-up. Oh, what a block. It's over. Yeah. Wow, he manual light laser sword. So I'm positive that base best guessed medium there. Because stand strong is a very common poke from that range to continue after that combo. So I would be shocked if base guessed heavy and didn't guess medium. So what a great light laser sword linker, because lights from that range are tough. He might have been in range for low short, but it's kind of close. So that's a really great combo finish from Thompxson.
I'm afraid your path ends here.
So here's the thing, right? You can't empty jump low base, or you can't empty jump low base. Trust me, I've tried. What is base doing to beat that? He's doing the OS throw, right? Guess what you can do to beat that? You can do empty jump, or empty jump, jump, right? Try that sometime. Watch base like throw his controller across the screen. Because you can't be thrown if you don't press a button in the air. You can jump, you can just hold up and never be thrown, right? So do empty jump and then jump. Watch base whiff his throw and then dunk him with the jump fierce. I mean, that's risky. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's risky and it won't always work. And it's not even that hokey doke. You think, man, that's just, what a crazy, weird mix-up, right? Like, why would I ever do empty jump, jump? What a stupid thing to do. But when you get into high-level fighting games, this is what you do. You dream up counters to specific situations, no matter how silly they sound, and then do them, and then watch the other player think, man, what a nut job. Why would he do such a thing? And then you beat him because he's frustrated. You take the rest of the round. Welcome to fighting games. LCD's like, I thought the same idea at the same time you said it. Will this work? Of course it will work. Alright. Base in there. Gets 2 skulls. That run. Wow. Nice DP from Thompxson. I love the check. Heavy. No. Okay, there's the safe jump that didn't work. Maybe it only works in the corner. DP. No. Thompxson, not quite. Again, he values grounded pressure, it seems, there, instead of the really dirty throw mix-ups Jago can do. Oh wow, that was smart from base. Oh, I love the use of meter from base. He gave Thompxson instinct this round, but I love the change of pace. Excuse me. I love the change of pace because Thompxson can't just immediately think, oh, this is how base always plays at the end of round 1. It's like, oh, now he's changing it up. And the change of pace just makes people play worse. Like, it just does. Again, empty jump low, no work. Nice block on the overhead. Gonna sit on it? Yeah. Wow, great combo conversion from base. And Thompson's instinct is just draining. Oh, I tried the dive kick to get over the fireball. Empty jump low works one time. It has to work one time, right? But base tried to throw. You see the counter hit there and the throw animation? The reason it didn't work this time was because base was getting up off wake up, right? So he didn't have enough time to get the throw startup out. And there's stand strong. Oh wow, is this going to be the meaty combo? Oh, how tricky is that? Thompxson, you're into chat. Did you mean for that to happen or did it just happen? Because you I mean, you play Jago enough that you must know that that's possible, but I don't know if you planned it or not. So basically what happened here was he did stand strong and canceled into wind kick, which gave him the linker version, because all cancels in that situation turn to linkers, right? And then the first hit of shadow wind kick whiffed because he was out of range. And then the timing for the breaker changed dramatically because it's offset by a weird miss at the beginning. Watch again. Stand strong, and it whiffs, and base just whiffs the breaker because he's not expecting that. So Thompxson says, yes, I meant for that to happen. So right on, that's really cool. I love the setup then. If you can do that reliably, that's awesome. Nice block. Oh man, heavy linker broken. And I love the response here from base. What's this? Power Devour, because Thompxson throws Fireball and Wind Kick. That's what he does there. He doesn't press a normal. He is in range exactly for those things, so base is going to absorb. Oh, empty jump low, and base was way out of range for throw there, but he still tried it. Watch throw, yes. And it's because base is just used to that timing. But Thompxson is mixing him up a bit. He's jumping from a little further out. Overhead reset, hit confirm. Medium linker broken. I think that might have been a guess. Wow, nice backdash. Corner pressure. Wow, and he breaks one. And I love this so much because Thompxson was not deterred by missing the breaker earlier in the set. He's like, base, you break on one all the time. I'm going to counter break you, and you're going to think, well, okay, the counter breaker whiffed, so he's not going to try it again. No, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to win the game, right? He's going to win the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enough? Oh, not quite. Maybe in the older version it would have done enough. Another thing I'd like to say is this is the optimal combo after counter breaker for Jago. So right on base, or Thompxson, you are doing the right thing. Fierce, medium, light. Fierce, shadow. That's the optimal 1 meter combo for Jago. And now base can't get hit again. Oh! Boy. Everybody take their heads off the floor. Think about this one again. Now this is something you can input during the freeze because this is not invincible. And this is really smart by Thompxson because he knows it doesn't have meter for shadow counter. He doesn't want base to, he doesn't have instinct, but sometimes you'll activate instinct here. He just thinks, well, I'm not doing anything, I'm not stuck in block stun, so I'm just going to DP. And he thinks about this really quick because this is not a common response. This base, shadow here, like this happens so quick, and this is something base never does. I think this might have been an input error. But Thompxson is ready with DP here. I love it. All right.
I'm afraid your path.
All right, let's watch that one more time because this is the. Watch him rattle this skeleton with this DP. Watch the damage. Oh man. All right. Everybody watching the stream felt it. Thompxson says, I buffered the hell out of that DP. Yeah, you sure did. Oh wow, what a walk-up. Heavy linker, guessed wrong. Anti-air, no. Alright, base is spacing well. There we go, there's the anti-air I was looking for. Yes. Really great whiff punish here on the... Or yeah, well, it was a gamble, not a whiff punish, but it was still really strong use of Bone Shaker. There is a whiff punish. And just enough, he's going to kill him. Oh, yes. Base, okay. So I want to talk about this combo base does. Base is really good at this. Better than any other player I know. So whiff punishes, okay. And he applies Skull just before the instinct, so this is really important. And then he sees the lockout, and he's like, okay, what can I do here? I can do Fierce. I know base has tried doing Fierce into Spectral Manual Fierce to get a Skull. And sometimes he extends it over the lockout window, and he's like, man, I'm going to get broken, and then I don't want to counter break here, so it's kind of like lame. So maybe I should just take lower damage. But then you think to yourself, well, no, wait a minute. What I can do is I can do a short combo into Wall Splat, and then throw before the lockout finishes, and then he can't tech the throw. And that throw is unscaled, so it does like as much damage as 2 fierce auto doubles. So this is what base does. Watch again here. Lockout, he doesn't know what to do, so he does wall splat into throw. And like right before the lockout finishes, he gets the complete unscaled throw damage for 37%. And I bet you he would not have been able to get 37 doing a standard lockout combo otherwise. So I love that from base. I love how smart that is from base, and I love the application of Shadow Skull there. He's going to keep Thompson in the corner, and he's going to make him guess on wake up here, or on at the start of the round. And if he gets a hit, he's going to do enough damage to maybe make Thompson not get an instinct for the entire game. Oh man. Okay, empty jump DP. He still has an instant curse on him though, Thompson. Base can go in. Looking for the time. Wow. We have punished the jump with overhead. Thompson, what are you? Crazy? Manual. Oh wow, okay. Throw? No. He tried to bait throw. He was locked out though, right? Well, it's not the worst mix-up. He was kind of locked out, so I don't think base was really looking to throw there. Nice block on the cross-up. Empty jump low gets thrown for the 25th time. Wow. 2 boots on your head. Look at these. 2 little microscopic boots right on the dome. Overhead reset. And this is it. Shadow? Yes. Shadow Ender. Yes, base. Look at the damage. 62, and he's dead. Wow, base. Thompson, you crazy person. You try to wake up overhead again? What? You're a crazy person. Alright. That's him just sort of being like, alright, if this doesn't work, he got me. I have so much life to make up that I might as well try it. So this is where, if you're playing locally with somebody at a tournament or at like someone's house in casuals, this is where you give him the dirty look, right? You look over across the couch and like, did you just wake up overhead? Online you can't really do that, but in base's head, you know he's thinking, this guy wake up overhead.
Supreme victory.
Alright, 7-4. Well, again, empty jump low gets thrown. Alright. Heavy? Okay. That's not a big deal. Thompson will take that break. Oh, wow. That hit super meaty, too. I think it does more damage, right? Let's watch the damage on Spinal. That hurts quite a bit. Empty jump low thrown again. So of all the times that Thompson has baited empty jump throw by like being out of range or doing it in like weird timing so it hits meaty, I think base has made all that damage back and more by doing this OS. So I think the OS is super useful, and even if you get hit sometimes for doing it, it's not really worth putting out of your muscle memory until the guy is like doing empty jump like I hope LCD does. You're going to do that, right? Jab, not quite enough hit stun to combo. Thompson wants that space. Anti-jump low, try it again. Alright. Walk up low. Oh wow. Base just got hit anyway. Thompson with a good confirm though. Wow, okay, right back at you. Heavy auto double broken. He was trying to do a heavy manual here. So, like Jago, Spinal gets to break the manual rules in Instinct. He gets to do 1 strength up because he gets a little extra hit stun. So this was him trying to do heavy manual, but just was a little early and got double instead. A good break from Thompson. Oh, I bet you base could have picked that combo with the teleport. I don't think this is that scary. Yeah, Thompson doesn't even mind getting hit by that. It's whatever. What's he gonna do? Okay. Oh, okay. There's a lot I want to talk about here. Let's start over here. First of all, that mix-up, despite there being skulls on the screen, nah. Thompson knows he can even get hit, it doesn't even matter. But he can just block out, it's not scary. So I'm not sure why base is holding it here. Holding the Devour. It's a weird thing, but he throws Shadow Skull, or sorry, Shadow Fireball. Absorb, and unlike before, where he got hit on purpose to drop the combo, here he doesn't. and Thompxson gets a full grounded combo. And he wants, so this is heartbreaking to watch, right? See, he knows Thompxson or Base has to guess. So if he's decided in his head, okay, I'm going to counter break. So I think it's valid to counter break there sometimes, and also valid to not counter break. But so Thompxson made the choice, it's fine. But he does it so late that he gives Base a chance to input a correct breaker before he even tries to counter break. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to break the first hit because he knows that's where Base is going to guess. But then he doesn't break in time for that to guess to even apply. He inputs his thing after the guess has come, which is why I think these interactions happen a lot in Killer Instinct. It's because people are like, oh, they either don't think of it this way or they instinctively don't do it correctly. They don't input early enough. The only option for Thompxson, if he decided to guess break here, was to do it right after the opener, because at any other time, Base could have guessed correctly and broken correctly. Like, if Base guesses heavy there and breaks, we don't even see this interaction, right? We just see a correct breaker, and Thompxson is cursing inside his head like, man, I counter broke that. But we don't actually see that. So we only see this interaction when it looks bad on the game. And I think what really has to happen here is that the players, we guys, all of us, just have to learn to counter break a little earlier. We have to counter break before the hit we expect them to try it on. Thompxson says, I shouldn't have counter broke, but I was greedy. I don't know. You were right. Your read was correct. Just input incorrectly. I don't think it's greedy at all here, actually. Base probably breaks more than like 80% of the time. And what is your reward for counter break, right, Thompxson? You get instinct. You get 2 full reps of instinct, and you also get like level 4 shadow meter. So you get a ton of reward here. I don't think it's that greedy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't let go of it. Yeah. So that's a heartbreaker. Not going to harp on it again too much, but I just wanted to say that I think, again, if you expect someone to break, even in like a shadow linker type situation, if you expect someone to break on hit 1 or hit 2, don't wait until hit 1 or hit 2 comes and then break or counter break. Try and do it beforehand so that you catch them. So can Thompxson save this round? No, he sits on the... Yeah, and that he couldn't break there because that manual killed him. But yeah, it's not really going to matter that much. Thompxson builds the bar. Stocked on Shadow Meter, has 2 Shadow Meter and half Instinct, which is great. Nice anti-air from Base. And again, good punish. We'll reset. Alright, full screen again. Here we go. No confirm. Oh wow. I looked away from the screen for a split second and I missed. Thompxson couldn't quite confirm that. But I love empty jump DP. I love it because it beats empty jump throw tech. And that's definitely a big, see the big fat counter hit over there? That's Base trying to throw. And it's a great response to, I mean, you can do empty jump, which is one thing. Empty jump backdash also works. But empty jump DP gets you 18% counter hit damage and a fireball combo. So yeah, this is a great Base, or Thompxson thought about it. He's like, man, I'm getting empty jump thrown a lot. What can I do? Well, here's one thing you can do. Block, no, not block. Base didn't want to give him the bar. He's gonna get hit though. Oh wow. Wow, Thompxson! You're the best. What a read. Man, why would you back jump? It's because he knows Base wants to teleport. He's been hit by a teleport into Shadow, teleport into Heavy Sword a whole bunch this set. And in exactly situations like this, where Base is trying to get out of fireball pressure, and he's trying to like reverse block advantage on Thompxson, and Thompxson has seen that, and he's like, all right, well, this is such a hard read, and it's such a good read. And I think Base in his head is probably like, man, okay, you got me this one time, real good. Watch this again. Look at this bait. It's such a good bait. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the combo. I'm sure he wanted to like throw a blocked fireball there and didn't really realize he was in a combo system, so he just ended it. But it doesn't change the strength of that bait. That was really good. Chip. All right. And Chun V-trigger. There's the heavy manual. Or that might have been medium manual, sorry. Alright, Thompxson just chilling. He knows that this isn't super dangerous. Fighting him back in the neutral, I like it. He's not really that bothered that Spinal is building skulls here, because he thinks he can kill him before it gets close. Oh, well maybe not. Is he gonna guess? He has to guess. He guessed wrong and he's gonna die. No base! Hot Lava wants to play Diablo 3? Man, I think, did base throw this away? What could he have done differently to actually maximize this here? The Shadow Skull, I think, did it. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. That's again, it's muscle memory from base to do this, right? There's no reason why you should use Shadow Skull there. Thompxson has full instinct, and it's just a thing that he's used to doing. He wants the damage. As soon as he sees lockout, he should immediately do Shadow Sword, or Shadow Bone Crusher, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, and it's exactly enough damage to not kill him. And how does he die here? He tries to get out of the chip, because he knows Thompson's going to throw Shadow. Yeah, Shadow Fireball is coming. Alright, Thompxson steals one. I think base stole one earlier in the set, so maybe we're even on the steals. Alright, 7-5. Wow, nice challenge. Thompxson loves to do those delayed moves. Wow, what a setup. What was that setup? I want to steal this. Okay. Okay, so he does jab into jump. And that's like super meaty cross-up timing. Jab, jump. Oh, man, I'm stealing that. Heavy? Yeah, okay. No meter to make it work, but that's okay. He'll take the corner position. Tried to reset. Okay, I don't know. I don't like Thompxson backing up here. Why? He worked so hard for this corner, and Spinal doesn't have the wake up to make this hurt. If he's gonna bait teleport, this is still gonna walking back is still gonna like hit him. He gives up the entire screen, and base is like, all right, I'm happy with that. So yeah, I think that's a misplay from Thompxson there. Empty jump TP again, and again, and again. Okay, so it looks like he's jumping around like a jumping bean, right? But this is really good. This is hard to defend. And Thompxson didn't keep the combo going. I think he wanted heavy auto double. Was really surprised when it didn't come out. And yeah, this happens to KI players. You're like, oh, I didn't want a manual. Alright, base threatening. He's representing, what's it called, Power Devour, so that Thompxson can't easily win kick. Right? Just a little bit, that's all he wants. It's like, don't forget that you can't win kick me. Alright, nice little pressure sequence from Thompxson. Earned some good damage even though he didn't start the combo. Look at the health on Spinal. Okay, I like the shadow counter attempt. What's it called? Thompxson hasn't represented it all that much, and base often presses a button there, so I think it's a good use of shadow counter meter. Thompxson says there's a reason he does those two jumps. Probably the reason is mainly because it works. It works real good. Empty jump, okay. He didn't do empty jump throw. Okay, I like it. He didn't do empty jump throw, or empty jump low, he did empty jump throw tech. And base is, of course, going to tech it, because he's been doing that the whole set. That's a really good reaction, though. Thompxson says he does those two jumps because it was a bait on the guest break, and I like that. Basically, as people who play K, I know guest breaking has several counters, several good ways to avoid it. You can counter break, which is like the ultimate call out, but you don't have to do that. You can do resets, or you can do delayed linkers and delayed auto doubles, which sort of put weird lockout windows around otherwise breakable moves. But resets in particular are very good at stopping guest breaking, because every time they try to guest break, they will stick something out. Like they'll stick out a heavy button, or they'll stick out a throw or something like that. So if you are willing to drop your combo and reset the opponent with jump or with like meaty overhead or something like that, super useful way to stop guest breaking. Wow, slide beats double roundhouse. I like the reset there. And now Thompson is kind of like, well, I mean, that doesn't do anything, yeah. Man, look at that chip. And he gets all the fireballs and was not ready to punish. And so this is a lost round for Thompson, I think. He's just throwing stuff, hoping for the best. Yeah, couldn't get out of the way of that one. I think he died to chip there. Right. There it is again. Overhead. Heavy. Heavy again. No base guesses. Meteor? No. No meteor to make it hurt. 35 still good though. Oh man, empty jump thrown again. Can base bring this back? He has no instinct. But he has meter. Oh, that's it. So I rewound it there because I want... Thompson is like... he has amazing reactions, and I'd love to see him hit confirm that right into Ultra instead of doing Heavy Linker. He picked Heavy Linker, which I love, because guest breaking heavy in that situation is like crazy, so people will often let heavies go, right? But I think you can just option select Linker, right? You don't even have to, or option select Ultra. You don't have to like hit confirm it at all. So if you see the opponent in like 20% or less, I think every opener should just be auto buffered into Ultra, like just every time. Don't auto buffer it into Heavy Linker like that. However, Thompson still wins the game.
I'm afraid your path
had a lot of life to play with too, so wasn't the end of the world. 7-6, Thompson. He was down like 7-6-2 or 6-3, right? He's won like 4 out of the last 5. Wow, what a whiff punish. Another one. Heavy, not broken. Man, that was a lot of heavies. Medium, okay, for medium light. I like this pressure, okay. Spinal fights back. Spinal fights back at an important part here, right there. He picks a time and a range, right? Watch this, right? There's the range. Thompson, what does Thompson do to get back in? He either has to press, like, stand fierce to hit from that range, or he has to do double roundhouse. And both of those buttons are slow enough that Spinal gets a chance to attack here. Right? And he did press double roundhouse and he got hit. So I like the timing from base on that challenge. Thompson says, every time I try to do open or ultra, I get light auto double counter break. I don't know why. That's kind of odd. Yeah, I mean, I play on stick, so I know you play on controller, so maybe it has something to do with that, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Like, I mean, yeah, I definitely know you know about open or ultra and like option selecting it and stuff like that. I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but yeah, I definitely think if there's a way you can learn how to fix that problem, I think it's super beneficial to you. Flip out. Okay, I like it. Remember, he's -2. Jago is -2 if you block double fireball that close. So Spinal thinks, oh, pressure time, or it's my turn. And Jago's like, nope. Base out of the corner. He's okay blocking this. I mean, Thompson has full meter now, but Base got out of the corner or he was going to die. Okay, what's he going to do? Is he going to let it go? Yes, he let it go. Perfect. Base saved himself a ton of damage here by letting go of Power Devour. Wow, whiff punish too, and throw reset. Looked like Base tried to run, but it didn't come out there. 80 fireball. And I think he dies, right? Wow, he tried to bait DP. Ah, he's dead. Could he have... Ah, yeah, he could have shadow wind kicked. Oh, he didn't think about it. Yeah, it's really weird. That's such an odd scramble situation that even with the shadow freeze, you don't have enough time to think about it sometimes. DP? Oh, I think he tried. Looks like he tried, but he got jump instead. I'm pretty sure this was a DP attempt. Yeah. But by like wrapping the stick around to forward, he like accidentally jumped or something. Fierce, fierce, tries to, okay. Their base did not go for the throw, the tech where he wall splats early into throw. He just decided, okay, I'm going to take my skull and the big damage off the Spectral Manual. Which, by the way, in case you don't know, Spectral Manuals do a ton of damage and a ton of white life, which is why base prefers them, and why they are in his counterbreaker combos. They are like his primo damage builders, but they just take a lot of time. DP Fireball, Jago special, another overhead. Alright, here comes the damage, or the meter build, I mean. Meter build, double Fireball. No! What happened? Mistake there from Thompxson, I think. Oh, he tried it again. And he was right again. If he pressed Fierce, he would have got him. But a great bait. Thompxson didn't believe. He didn't believe in his read. Thompxson, you gotta believe. DP? No, not out of range, or not in range rather. Alright, so base is scared of the instinct again, but with one curse on him, I think he should forget about it now for the rest of the round and focus on shadow linkers. Oh, nice bait. Alright, breaks on the heavy, but base is in control here. Oh, that was supposed to be Ultra, I'm sure. Let's slide into Ultra, but it didn't come out. Base has to scramble back a bit. But Thompxson has meter, but you know, he can't take another hit at all. Yeah, base will just block it, he's fine with that. He's okay with even sitting on that fireball. Oh, that was just in range. I thought that was going to miss. But I love the walk forward here from Thompxson. He knows, so he knows that base knows the range, because base is a Jago player too, right? Base knows the range. And he walks in range just as Spinal throws the fireball. Right there. Watch him walk, yeah. Oh, wow. That's such a dangerous, scary situation for base when Thompxson does heavy auto double there. You know, like, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type situations. Because you can't break it, because he's going to counter break you, and then I'm going to die. But if I don't break it, he's just going to kill me. So you have to make a hard read, and it's one of those gut-wrenching moments as a KI player. Like, you see the heavy auto double, and you're like, man, is he going to make me play this mind game? He has like 5%, and I have 40%. And he's going to make me play this game for my life bar? Man, but base makes the right decision. Donk, donk, and you're like, oh my goodness, okay, I got it. I'm the best, I'm in there, alright, punish. Well, he gave Thompxson one more break chance, which is really dangerous because, yeah, the punish here on the DP was bad from base, for sure. Yeah, if he's going to pick Shadow, just do Shadow something, Shadow Shoulder or Shadow Sword. But he picks Shadow Fireball, which means he has to give him one more break chance before the Ultra. Thompxson takes it, but guesses wrong. So that's a couple misses from Ultra conversions from these guys for decision-making mistakes or input mistakes or something. But that hasn't. I don't think it's cost. Actually, no, it did cost base in that one set, right? In that one round where Thompxson stole it, yeah. Those are the worst when you have it and you're like, man, if I just ultra'd or did a better combo so I could have ultra'd. And now I'm going to die. Wow, nice delay from... It didn't cause a timing lockout. Base was going to guess anyway. But those delays are annoying to deal with. Wind kick. Base fight back. Teleport so that he has corner. I love it. This is where base... yeah, Thompxson flinched because... Of course. And now base has total control. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay, that's the first 3-4-5 break I've seen from base in since 1997. So I don't fault Thompxson at all for letting this one go. Nice, nice block. Oh, he got hit though. Again, base didn't convert into a better combo, but he has corner. Nice. That's the Yun dive kick. That's the Kazunoko. Neutral jump? No, it was forward jump. But This is a Kazunoko dive kick. He's like, yeah, right on the toes. Base breaks for his life. Nice instant power devour from base, and there's the slide. Even with no V trigger to back it up, it's still super good. Wow, what a challenge! Donk, counter hit. Man, if base had started the round with full life, he still would have died to that counter hit TP. He's in there. Okay. Set up. What you got? Okay. Nothing too challenging. Just forcing Thompxson to play solidly. Medium, yeah, broken. Wow. Base knows he's negative after this shoulder. He's like, alright, I gotta block because he's gonna press roundhouse or he's gonna press stand strong, and I gotta block. And Thompson's like, you know what? Why don't you block this? Alright. Wow, what a confirm. I don't know if that must have been a confirm. Yeah, man, really good. First the whiff punish, then the confirm. Heavy, not broken, delayed. Wow, base. There's 1-2-4 from base, that's the base I know. But man, did he let this rock forever. Still 21%. Empty jump attempt at a low or something? What was this? What happened here? He did empty jump into light heavy laser sword? That must have been an input mistake. Oh, is he gonna die? Shadow. Shadow. Base. Oh, okay. Wow. Base really... I think he could have killed him. I think this was Base sort of losing himself in his own combo a little bit here. And then just like... Yeah. It was a good guess by Thompxson, but I think Base lost himself in his combo a little bit. And now he has to put up with this nonsense. Oh no. Might end up really costing him. Overhead. Manual Ultra. Base didn't even guess. I think Base is frustrated with himself there. You know when a fighting game player, you like... You know, you have a chance to like get out of something, but you just put the controller down and you're like, fine, whatever. Kill me. I'll just try again next time. You know that feeling in your head? I think that's what Base was going through here. Base is like, man, I let this all get away, and then I get hit by the overhead, and then Base's head, he's like, man, I'm the worst, and then just, he doesn't even bother. That's a tough one for Base. I think he definitely had Thompxson on the ropes there, and sort of tricked himself into doing something a bit too much. Apex Steelo, where are you going, bud? This is a good time. These fireballs are actually not that easy for Base to deal with. He has to guess teleport, and you can see him fake it there, right? This is what Thompxson doing to try and bait teleport, and that was supposed to be a fireball, I guess. I don't know why he's doing heavy laser sword. But, yeah, trying to bait teleport there, right? Ooh. Right on the tip. Oh, there's an attempt to bait a throw. Didn't work out, but Thompson's unscathed. Nice teleport. Had no skull to cancel though. So it was a lot more unsafe than the other ones. Medium is broken by Thompxson. And again, Base, the same response, right? Excuse me. Base is very commonly, after breaker, going to power devour. Donk, right? He loves to see that Thompxson win kicks or fireballs there. Thompxson hasn't been doing it as much though. He's been walking forward, pressing normals. I love the pressure here. Medium not broken this time, throw, yeah. And Thompxson's stuck, yeah. He tried to challenge the fireball, I think. But he didn't throw a fireball the second time, yeah. And now he gets hit. Oh man, Base, really? Lost all his work. That's a mistake. That's gonna... Yeah, I think Thompxson could have done something there. I think he could have jumped. Back jumped rather, so that he didn't get hit. Maybe you could have DP'd, I don't know. I don't know the interaction there, but I think there was a way Thompxson could have gotten out. If I had KI running, I would boot it up and test it. But yeah, Windows 10 anniversary update, not so bueno. And Thompxson got the... Okay, well... Okay, it didn't come back to hurt him. Thompxson got the reaction he wanted, but not the best punish there. But the chip does it. He spends the bar, though. That bar might come back to hurt him. Especially now that he's locked out on this meter. He won't be able to build a bar. Nice patience, though. Didn't block the overhead. Man. Base tried to bait throw here, but Thompxson just threw him anyway. One chance into pressure. Yes, that's how you stop teleport. This Jago in particular can do stand medium kick, which is a very fast and active meaty, and if Spinal teleports, he gets hit by low short. You don't even have to, you just do it anyway. You don't have to like react, you just kind of OS. And that's the bait. Heavy knot broken. Jago gets all this life back and has to block. Well, and Thompxson, you are the best. Okay, let's watch that again. This is the third time he has made this read on base. And it's because base has hit him with it earlier in the set. This is such good adaptation, and if you're watching the set and you're like, how do I adapt in fighting games? This is what you do. You get hit by something a lot, and then you sit there and you think about it, and you're like, okay, what's the exact counter to this move? And then you do it. So good. The bait, and it's perfect into Ultra. Base has to guess and dies. Alright, we got a set. This used to be like, what was it, 6-2, 6-3? Now it's 8-8. Best 2 out of 3 for the championship of the world. DP, no. Thompxson, not quite. Frame advantage? Okay, base blocks it out. There's the DP I like. And base not quite with the punish. So the DP whiffed, but I'm not sad about it. Like, I think Thompxson should try. Yeah, it's fine. He also didn't get punished, so it's even more fun. Notice how Thompxson pressed the jumping normal there? He's like, I've had enough of this empty jump load nonsense. I'm gonna frickin' put you in box zone. And you're not gonna throw me again. Alright. What can base do with this curse on? Besides getting DP'd and then baited with throw. What a backdash. Alright. Yes. Yes. And the optimal combo. Kills him. 56. That was perfectly optimal. And if it was not optimal, base would have lived. You know what base would have done if he lived? He would have woken up, crouch jab, V trigger, Nikali, dash forward, EX command grab into EXDP, and he would have killed you. But because Thompxson is optimal, he kills him. And this is why optimality is important, even in games like KI. Perfectly optimal. Anything less than optimal wouldn't have been enough, and that's why you learn optimal combos. Speaking of Street Fighter V, there's some more Chun crouch medium punch V trigger. And base does not want Thompxson to get in sync this life bar. He's willing to spend both his meters, but he's going to build this back. Even though this is not the patch with the meter building buff, it's still not bad for Spinal in its sync. DP. Waits the throw. Heavy linker broken. Thompxson's still not going to get instinct on this life bar though. But he's going to try and do as much damage to base as possible. Much more patient this game, you notice that? It's because these guys know it's 8-8, and this is a really critical game. Punish. What is he going to do? Jump. Wow, okay. Interesting interaction. I guess looks like Thompxson had already committed to jump. Base could have hit him here. But I think Base was not sure what this animation was, because I think if he knew it was jump, he would have just hit him. Instead, he runs into that. I mean, it works, but yeah, that's weird. I think if you know what the animation is, you just do the counter to it. And again, I don't like that use there. Base, Thompxson is very clearly only getting one instinct this game, unless he does some super crazy series of combo breakers and healing. So base does not need to spend the meter on Shadow here. Shadow Skull. It doesn't really add to his damage, especially there, yeah. If base loses this game... Oh man, Thompxson definitely wanted Ultra there. He cancelled, and he hoped that that would take him into danger. So this was an Ultra cancel, but it didn't quite work. He's like 1 pixel away from danger. So unfortunately he has to earn another mix-up. And there was the jump back. You notice that? This time it didn't work. Base didn't take the bait. He throws Fireball, and then, whoa, you're going to teleport on me? Not this time. Base just sits there. Absorb? No, he can't absorb. Okay. What can base do here? Wow, he goes in recklessly. Man, that was such a dangerous break. I know base isn't counter broken, but that would have been quite the time for it. And yeah, he loses. It might look desperation to counter break when you have 0 life left, but I don't know, I think sometimes it's worth the risk.
I'm afraid your path ends here.
But that's another one of those situations where Thompson's like, he's scared to break. He doesn't really want to break because he knows he can let the combo rock a little bit and probably still not die. But at the same time, it's like, why is he doing a reactable double to me right now? Does he want me to break? And you have like 25 frames to make your decision. And if you make the wrong decision, you get donkerino'd. And then you get put on YouTube. Wow, jump. Manual. Another medium linker broken. Okay. Wow, nice challenge. Not this time. You can see Thompxson doing Stand Fierce delayed wind kick. He wants to counter hit. Base is pressing a button. Right there. Right. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to counter hit base. Right, base looking to, again, make sure that this life bar doesn't see a Thompxson instinct. Nice jump. Overhead into some heavy manuals, and that's the end. Really strong round from base. And still has corner in this round. Oh, he throws him out. But, oh, doesn't throw him back in. Base just going coast to coast right now. Medium. Thompxson doesn't break. Has Thompxson given up on this round? I hope not. Still in there, yeah, he's still fighting a little bit. Well, throw, yeah. Actually, could he have ultra though? No, he was over 100. Again, this is where you want this KV to be under 50, right? But that puts him over 50, so you know that this wall splat will not allow anything except a shadow move or a throw. So he has no choice but to throw him here. But if he had not done, if he had done maybe a slightly different combo, he would have been able to press like stand jab into ultra there instead. But I don't think base is overly concerned because this is looking rough times. 9-9. One game for champion of the universe. All right.
Supreme victory.
All right. Both players right into it. They don't even think about it. Here we go. I want to see how aggressive they are versus how calm and collected they are. Oh, what a block from base. First time he's blocked this overhead in like a long time, I think. And he whiff punishes when the heavy laser sword. It's a bad block follow-up from Thompxson. Really smart awareness by base there. And he locks out. So now base has him in the corner. Nice DP though. One. Okay. Base not risking it. Doesn't even do one to fake it. I think if base's tendencies there are, like I say, to break 1-2-4 or 1-3-4. And if base wants to fake, he often does one with nothing else. So I think base wasn't even interested in faking. He's like, whatever. You got me. Alright, Thompxson up. He's going to sit on his life lead. Nice block, but he can't block teleport. That's a new variation from base. He hasn't done this before, where he does overhead into teleport on the other side. I haven't seen that in this set. And actually, I've watched a lot of base YouTubes, and I haven't seen that. I don't want to say ever, but man, I'm not sure the last time I've seen that variation. That's really hard to block. Really good optimization from base on that scramble lockout. So optimization on counter breakers is obviously very easy. You just go to ki.infill.net. That's ki.infill.net. You go to that page, go to the character pages, and I've listed all the optimal counter breaker combos for you. But in these scramble situations where these lockouts come up, and you're not entirely sure how much time you really have, I think optimizing lockouts is a really interesting skill, and I think that the community hasn't taken itself super seriously there. So I love that base is really good at this. Yeah, there's that mix-up. And then watch this optimization. Medium into light laser sword, or into light soul sword. He knows, he either knows or is willing to risk that it extends past the end of the lockout window, and it's super good because the damage, all this damage is really important. Nice DP from Thompxson. Now what, base is going to run under and trip guard him. Yeah, nothing you can do. Base steals round 1 in the last game. Overhead low, there's what I talked about at the very first game. Thompxson hasn't used it for a while, and he broke it out when it really mattered. That's really strong. Super hard to defend. Yeah, that's really hard to defend. And, okay. So this time it worked. Thompxson was a little late again on this counter breaker. So base input the counter breaker a little later. He had a chance to break successfully and didn't quite manage to put it in that window. But I still love this counter breaker from base, or from Thompxson. I don't care that base has 5% or like 2% of his life bar and that Thompxson has a full life bar. It's because base breaks here every time. He has to, right? He's never not breaking. So a counter breaker not only kills him, because that's like the least of Thompson's concern. He wants the meter and the instinct. That is why you counter break it. He gets full meter. Now he's going to get instinct next time he gets hit by a fierce. And he's in there. Super even final game though, I love it. Wow, what a confirm. And base knows the 3-move rule. That's a really nice confirm. And base knows that you can break this because it's stand, medium kick, crouch, light kick is 2 moves, and this is now a breakable move despite being an opener. Yeah. Confirms just for the unbreakable damage. Wow, nice overhead from base from way out there. That was almost Jago distance. Wow, look at how close this is. Base has the corner though. This is right where he wants to be. How is Thompxson going to get out? Well, clutch throw tech. And he just jumps. Oh my goodness. Okay, before we get into that amazing exchange, I want to see this again. So Thompson's thinking to himself, man, I just got hit. I'm cursed. I only have 1 bar. I have instinct, but I'm cursed. And Thompxson, or base, is like at the peak of his momentum in the corner. And I have to win this game. How do you get out? What does Thompxson do? He techs the throw, and then what does he do? Okay, he takes his turn back. Base blocks, and then what does he do? He jumps. Empty jump instinct. Was he going to empty jump instinct and then see if base tried to throw? And then backdash and then kill him? That would have been pretty sick, right? Instead, he sees that base jumps and DPs, but base is ready with the shadow teleport, which is invincible, of course. And what happens? Wow, and base is just blocking it out. I think he might have been able to punish. Oh, maybe not. Looks like they both finished right about the same time. Thompxson gets all the life back, and now base is in the corner, and he's... Oh, what a bait. Man, this is such an uphill battle for base. Yes, he has to pop. Thompxson tried to bait teleport, and now he's just going to block it out. He's okay. Base has no skulls, and Thompxson... Oh, wow! Slide! Even the music cuts out. The musicians are watching. Wow, what a break. Okay, back up? Yeah, Thompson's for sure going to back up. Think about this, okay. Dive kick, avoids the fireball. Man, I don't even know what's going to happen. Sits on the fireball, these staggered fireball pressure. Oh, he throws it! Wow, empty jump DP!
I'm afraid you're
What a way to finish the set. Let's watch that again. Nice dive kick, okay. Now Thompxson knows he can throw these staggered fireballs with different speeds and different charges, and Base has to try and absorb, but it's so hard, like he sits on one. And Thompxson DPs from downtown, and Base runs into it, trying to steal back the momentum. Wow. But it was light DP, so it wasn't the riskiest thing in the world, you know? That was really cool. I love the ending to this. Let's watch it again. Okay, jump back teleport bait. Didn't work. These skulls are not overly scary. And Thompson's just sitting there chilling. He's evaluating his meter, thinking about his options. But he's cursed on meter, so he knows he's not really going to get... Man, heavy breaker. And now he has to sit there and think about this. How am I going to open up Base with no meter? And Base is thinking to himself, how am I going to dodge these fireballs? Okay, throw, absorb, and tries to like jump out of the way. Doesn't work. He throws a clearing skull, I think. Yeah. And then just runs into DP.
I'm afraid your path.
So there you go. That was 10-9 Thompxson in a super close last game, last round set. Both players played really well. I think both players had a couple things they could have improved on, like Base, for example, maybe not using as much Shadow Skull. Thompxson dropped some combos and stuff, but I mean that's just par for the course when you're playing good players. Sometimes you drop combos. I mean, I love the adaptation, especially Thompxson with the jump back teleport baits. Those are really good. Base had really good combo lockout optimization in a lot of spots that got him rounds. Yeah, just a really exciting set. So yeah, I'm glad I did this. I'm excited to do analysis of sets like this. Hopefully the players who are playing can see some interesting things in their own play. I know it's kind of hard to watch yourself play because it's like all you see is the mistakes, and you're like, man, I know I'm better than that. I know I shouldn't have made that mistake. So kudos to you guys if you end up watching this Base later maybe. Thompxson was watching live, so that's cool. Yeah, and if you aren't one of these two players and you're thinking to yourself, what can I learn from watching two other players play? You can learn all sorts of really cool things about, you know, neutral game options to like lockout conversions to, you know, pressure tools and like ways to counter pressure tools that you didn't think of. So, and what better way to do it than watching Thompxson and Base, two tournament stalwarts in KI. So thank you guys for coming. I think that will be the end of my stream today. Hopefully I will be able to analyze a bit more sets. I've done a few sets in the past, but not any within the last couple months. I just haven't really been. I've been a little busy outside of the KI scene with my work and that sort of stuff, and just haven't really felt energized enough to do a stream. But when I watched this set earlier, I was like, man, these guys are making some super interesting decisions, and I have to talk about it. So that was my stream. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will see you next time, I hope.